Yes, good morning, children. Let us revise the second chapter, acids, bases, and salts. Okay. Now, what are acids and how they are classified? We are going to see one by one, right? Now, acids are of two types: inorganic acids or mineral acids and organic acids. Okay. Now, what is the basic difference between the two? Mineral acids are derived from minerals, and most of them are strong. And they are not edible. Okay, they are not edible means you can't eat or you can't use it. Whereas organic acids, they have a biological origin. They are generally weak acids, and many of them are edible. You know very well that citrus fruits, they are having citric acid in them. And then curd contains lactic acid. Then imli, it contains tartaric acid. Vinegar contains acetic acid. Tomatoes contain oxalic acid. Formic acid is there in an ant bite. Is that clear? So these are all organic acids, and HCl, H2SO4, HNO3, they are all inorganic acids. Okay, they are obtained from chloride salt, sulfate salt, nitrate salt, phosphate salt, carbonate salt. They are derived from those salts. Okay, they are derived from minerals. Now, what are bases? Bases, they are of two types again. You have strong bases and weak bases. Strong bases: sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. To some extent, you can say calcium hydroxide is also a strong base, but not that strong as that of these two. Okay, weak bases: magnesium hydroxide, aluminium hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide, they are all weak bases. Okay, and remember, a base which is soluble in water is called an alkali. Now, which base is soluble in water? NaOH and KOH. NaOH, KOH, they are called alkalis. Okay, they are soluble in water. Right. Now, what are indicators? Indicators are those substances which help us to identify whether a particular substance is acidic or basic in nature. Now, these indicators, they are of two types: natural indicators and synthetic indicators. Under natural indicators, you can give the example of litmus solution, then turmeric, then beetroot juice. All these things you can classify under natural indicators. And synthetic indicators, you have methyl orange and phenolphthalein. Now, a simple indication how these indicators work. Now, these are the indicators and what is their original color and how they change in the acidic medium and in the basic medium I have given. Right? Now, this litmus solution. Now, what is litmus solution? Now, litmus is, it is a purple dye. Litmus is a purple dye, and it is extracted from lichen plant, which belong to thallophyte. Right? Now, this purple dye, if you add to this purple dye a small amount of acid, then what you get is a red litmus solution. If you add a few drops of base to the purple dye, and it becomes the blue litmus solution. Okay, this is how you prepare red litmus solution and blue litmus solution. Okay, this purple dye is a neutral solution. इसमें थोड़ा सा acid डालोगे वो red litmus solution बन जाएगा. If you add a few drops of base, then it becomes blue litmus solution. Okay. Now, what is the function of red litmus? You know it already. With base, it turns blue, is it not? BRB. Base turns red litmus blue. ये पढ़ा है आपने. Same way, acid turns blue litmus red. ABR. So, with acid, it turns red. Blue litmus will turn red, is it not? Acid turns blue litmus red. Base turns red litmus blue. So, this you are not supposed to forget. Now, apart from this, you have certain other natural indicators called olfactory indicators which are in terms of smell. Okay, now you must have heard about vanilla essence. मम्मी आपकी घर में वनीला एसेंस यूज करती होंगी, ठीक है, केक्स वगैरह बनाने में या कुछ और some kind of cakes and all that she must have used, or you may be having it at home also. Now, to a few drops of dilute HCl, if you add vanilla essence, then the smell of vanilla essence is retained. Vanilla essence की smell नहीं जाएगा, it will remain. But if you add vanilla essence to a few drops of sodium hydroxide, the smell of vanilla is not observed. It loses its smell. Okay. So if it retains, that means the solution is acidic. And if the smell is gone, then the sample that you have to which you have added vanilla essence is a base. Okay. Same way, you can also do it with an onion ordered cloth strip. Now, how do you make this? What you do is, you take some finely chopped onions and place it in a clean cloth and tie it properly and leave it in the refrigerator overnight. पूरी रात के लिए आप एक कपड़े में बांध के ऑनियन को चॉप करके बांध के उसको रेफ्रिजरेटर में रख दो. Throughout night you keep it. Okay. Now उस क्लॉथ में ऑनियन का स्मेल आएगा, ठीक है. Now you take that, wash it with water and then place the cloth on a table, say. Is that clear? In one cloth, you add a few drops of dilute acid and on the other you add a few drops of base. What has been found is a characteristic smell is observed if you put a few drops of acid on the onion ordered cloth. Order means smell, okay? उसमें dilute HCl डालोगे, a characteristic smell is observed, and if you drop it on, if you drop a base on the cloth, then the smell is not observed. So this can also tell you what is your sample. Okay, these are also natural indicators, but they are depending on smell, so you call them as olfactory indicators. Okay, now what we are going to see, we are going to see properties of acids. What are the properties of acids? Acids are sour in taste. These things are not new to you, you know it already. Okay, acids turn blue litmus red. Acids turn methyl orange red. Yes, if you add a few drops of methyl orange to a sample of acid, it will turn red. Okay, you know methyl orange is a synthetic indicator. Most of the acids, they are corrosive in nature. They produce a burning sensation if it falls on your skin. And if you drop, say, concentrated sulfuric acid on a piece of cloth, it will produce a hole. जल जाएगा वो cloth. ठीक है? So how we preserve these acids in the lab? They are stored in glass containers only. Okay? You don't keep them in plastic containers or anything. You keep them in glass containers because they are not attacked. Glass is not attacked by acids. Then acids react with metals, liberating hydrogen gas. Okay? A pop sound is heard. When you bring a burning matchstick near the mouth of the test tube, you hear a pop sound, and that is due to the evolution of hydrogen gas. So zinc plus sulfuric acid will give you zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. Same way magnesium plus HCl gives you magnesium chloride plus hydrogen. Now different metals react to different extents. Is that clear? All the metals will not react the same way. There are some metals which are highly reactive. There are some metals which are less reactive. Based on that, the reaction will be there. Okay, so you will find, supposing if I take all these metals and I put them in a few, I take 4 different test tubes and I have taken the pieces of all these metals in those test tubes and I have added a few drops of, say, dilute sulfuric acid into each of them. Okay, now magnesium has been found to react most vigorously zinc will react less vigorously, इससे कम होगा. Iron reacts slowly, Fe means iron reacts slowly, and with copper you will not find any reaction at all. Okay, copper will stay at the bottom, no reaction is observed. Now, if you check the reaction with metal carbonates and bicarbonates, then what happens? Metal carbonates and bicarbonates. Na2CO3, this is sodium carbonate. NaHCO3, this is sodium bicarbonate. Okay. So when you treat them with acid, what happens? CO2 gas is evolved in both the cases, is it not? Whether it is carbonate or bicarbonate, you find carbon dioxide gas is evolved. And if this carbon dioxide is passed through lime water, it turns milky. Okay. And if you pass excess of carbon dioxide, milky होने के बाद, milkiness is due to calcium carbonate formation, right? And if you pass excess of carbon dioxide into it, that milkiness will disappear due to the formation of calcium bicarbonate, right? Okay, then a solution of acid in water, it conducts electricity. I'm giving you some videos to see all these things. Okay, please check once again, so that you will be even more clear with the concept. I have already shown you all the videos, and once again I am showing you. Acids react with bases to form salt and water. This reaction is called as neutralization. This is also not new to you, you know it very well. HCl plus NaOH gives NaCl plus water, and in this process energy is also released. Neutralization reactions are exothermic in nature. Okay, this you have studied already. H2SO4 plus NaOH will give you Na2SO4 plus water. This is sodium chloride, this is sodium sulfate. Okay. Now not only that, acids, it reacts with metal oxides to form salt and water. Metal oxide, calcium oxide, magnesium oxide, these are metal oxides, is it not? When they react with acids, they will form the corresponding salt and water. कैल्शियम ऑक्साइड के साथ कैल्शियम क्लोराइड बनेगा, HCl के साथ ट्रीट करोगे. मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड विद सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड विल गिव यू मैग्नीशियम सल्फेट एंड वाटर, राइट? सो दीज आर द reactions or properties of acids, right? Now I'm just showing you a few diagrams. Look at this. Zinc granules are taken in this test tube with sulfuric acid. Hydrogen gas is coming out. This is passed through a soap solution, and the hydrogen gas will be surrounded by the soap bubble, and that will give a pop sound when you bring a burning candle near it. Okay. Then same way, if you take any carbonate or bicarbonate, and if it is treated with dilute HCl, carbon dioxide gas is evolved, which is passed through lime water, right? This test tube contains lime water. So when carbon dioxide comes into it, it will turn milky. Okay. And another one, that they conduct electricity. You have two nails attached to a rubber cork placed inside a beaker containing dilute acid solution, and through the nails you are connecting it to a bulb and a switch with a 6-volt battery. When you switch it on, the bulb will glow. This shows that an aqueous solution of acid will conduct electricity, right?